Hi, happy weekend. It's Meredith. I'm here with our message for the weekend of the 29th, 30th, 31st. It's super early Friday morning. We've had a full moon in Leo last night, and we are coming into a Mercury retrograde starting in Aquarius. Awesome. I do feel really different about this upcoming retrograde. I just put a little tag on that and say that I often come into retrogrades feeling like, ooh, hey, this isn't so challenging like everybody's talking about. And by the end of it, sometimes I feel like I'm dragging myself across some kind of a finish line. So I'll put that out there. Still, I am enthusiastic and optimistic about it. All right, let's have some fun. Let's get into the cards. We are using the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot for our message today. Our cards from the bottom of the deck. This is the theme of energy within the atmosphere running through the weekend according to tarot. And our first card is, oh, well, here's a humdinger. The Five of Cups. Yeah. You know, this is one of those cringe cards in tarot. It has a reputation, a cringe reputation. And it's emotional pain, loss, and sorrow. You know, it connects a little bit to the Three of Swords, which is a mental pain, loss, and sorrow. However, we have 3 turned over cups. You can see them all right here. And then we have 2 upright cups over here, which is a connection to the Two of Cups, which is a fair exchange of energy. And I feel that this particular 5 is a little less cringeworthy than we've all been programmed to think. I feel that there's a bit of reverence on this card. It's taking a look at what has come to pass, the more challenging aspects of our emotional intimacy within self-relationship. And it, you know, these are golden moments when we reflect on some of our more challenging life experiences, right? Because we've learned the most from them. And they kind of deserve our pause. Moments of enlightenment after the fact. Because we're moving on into this Two of Cups here, which is so beautiful, right? It's the harmonized divine masculine, divine feminine within self. And then it is how we go forward and share ourselves with the world, with our family of friends, and our beloved relationship. So out of the 3 turned over cups, the emotional pain, loss, and sorrow, we've gleaned a whole lot of life experience and wisdom. We've seen the Emperor this week. We've seen the High Priestess, the Death card. I mean, Temperance has shown up a couple of times. We're making change. And 5s in tarot are unstable. But it's in that instability where some of the greatest change happens. And when we have reverence and appreciation for the road we've walked, we're able to pick these 2 cups up and move on. So I feel that the instability of this 5 is that pause. It's the reflection, the recollection of how we got where we now stand. And we have appreciation for that. If we didn't, we wouldn't be seeing the cards we've been turning over. How much have we seen the 10 of Cups, Ace of Cups, 9 of Cups, the Magician, the Star, Temperance, Judgment? I mean, it's all been here this week. The High Priestess, the Death card. It just goes on and on for us. We're in an amazing atmosphere of appreciation for our journey, and that appreciation has been flowing into the momentum that continues to fuel the Wheel of Fortune to keep delivering in a divine way to our foundation. And that's something to be really excited about. So this card, while it may look somber, and while we may have a traditional programmed belief around this card, remember that the gift of instability is the opportunity to create stability. Because what follows the 5 of Cups but the 6 of Cups, which is the soulmate card, which is all about being your own best soulmate, 2 of Cups. And then again, how we share in every aspect of our life all that we've gleaned from the Five of Cups. It's pretty fantastic stuff, and that's what brings the stability. So welcome that, okay? Ooh. Well, hey, since we're ripping off Band-Aids, let's just go right to the Nine of Swords. I love that this is here. I really do. I think it's fantastic sitting right next to the Five of Cups, because we walk on with the Two of Cups, as I just mentioned. The Nine of Swords is the awake in the middle of the night, anxiously agonizing over all the BS that has come to pass, and we haven't settled it. We haven't, I can't say that on YouTube, so let me start again. There may be something in that 3 turned over cups. By the way, here we go with another segue. 3 of Cups turned over, that's kind of like the morning after the night before, isn't it? Because the 3 of Cups is a huge celebration, connection, growing, building type of energy. And perhaps there's a bit of remorse for the party coming to an end in some way. Still, I'm going to stick with the emotional intimacy of the challenges we've experienced in life, creating an instability. And we may be triggered with this Nine of Swords. So there may be a piece that we haven't reconciled. That's really what I'm getting at here. When the Nine of Swords shows up, we haven't reconciled something. There's a pebble in our shoe. There is something that we're chewing on, and we're better off to let it go. Now, we've seen the Four of Coins this week, too. We've been shown in the cards that we're hanging on to something we're better off letting go of. And the reminder here is that the thing that we're hanging on to may be something that we've become so comfortable with, we don't know we're still hanging on to it. Spoke about that in yesterday's reading. We become comfortable with dysfunction, and we don't always recognize that it's a dysfunction. I feel, though, the Five of Cups is really enlightening. Oh, you know what? So after I shuffled out these cards, and I was sticking the rest of the deck back in the box, I discovered there was a card still in the box. It never made it into the shuffle. So I pulled it out and I was going to save it at the end for us, but I feel that it's appropriate now. And what was left in the box was the Hermit. So I feel that the Five of Cups is the enlightenment that the Hermit brings. You know, the quest beckons when you see the Hermit, and the quest is the Two of Cups. Now, we might still be hung up on something in the Nine of Swords, but as the Four of Coins has told us earlier this week, we're better off letting it go. And I feel that the Five of Cups is confirmation that we have the enlightenment required to let it go and move on. So we might be doing some mental gymnastics over there with the Nine of Swords, but we'll get over ourselves. We'll get to the end of that rope. We'll tie the knot in it, and we'll feel fulfilled and satisfied for giving it another pass through. And I feel that this is a bit of a connection to the Judgment card that we saw earlier in the week. Well, or right now. You know what I see when I look at this card right now? So here's Judgment. That's fantastic. Have I told you that I love the tarot cards? This is why. I love these surprises and delights. And what I feel when I look at that card is last call. Now, Judgment is typically a card where we're taking another pass at something. We're having another opportunity with something. But I feel in this lineup that this resurrection of sorts on the Judgment card with the 5 and the 9 and the enlightenment of the Hermit over here, it's last call on something where we really are tying up an emotional and intellectual loose end for ourselves. It's beautiful. It's really actually quite profound. So go for it. You know, give yourself the space. Give yourself the unconditional love that is required for just this type of spiritual journey work over here. And, you know, have a last call on that stuff, because you have bigger, better things that are unfolding, and you've seen it. You have evidence for it in the cards, in the way that they have been repeating 10 of Cups, 9 of Cups, Ace of Cups, so many cups, 4 of Wands, Ace of Wands. We had 2 aces show up in a reading this week, 2 or 3. But I know it was the Ace of Wands for sure. And that's, you know, creative fire, passion, lighting up our world, calling on our skills and our talents. So give yourself the gift of running your fingers through this with reverence, with appreciation, and then just let it go. Okay. Oh, how sweet. They're doing it again. There's the Ace of Cups. After having mentioned it so many times in just this beginning of this reading, here it is. It's this divine loving overflow. And the question we've been asking this week with the aces has been, what are you doing with the divine and cosmic gift? We recognize that we ourselves are the gift. We recognize that this cosmic hand that's putting this ace out there for us is a gift to us from the divine all, divine order. And the question we've been asking the cards is, what are we doing with that? How are we moving with that? How are we flowing? So this one is all about love, bliss, joy, and happiness, right? It's happy relationships, wonderful connections, meaningful, heartfelt connections with people, right? What are we doing with that? How are we traveling through this weekend with it? And think of this card as an overflow of enthusiasm and optimism, because we have that. We've got it. And it's what's giving us the unconditional kindness and loving energy to take a look at the things that are pebbles in our shoes. And coming with, yeah, dynamic movement. Now we have the Chariot. We are, see, the cards are answering it for us. What are we doing with our aces? Well, we're moving dynamically forward. What I love about the Chariot is that traditionally you have two horses or two sphinxes, and they appear to be moving in two different directions, and it's up to the charioteer to find the middle way. And I feel that's what's going on over here. It's last call on reaching the middle way with something that's been a pebble in your shoe. And what I feel from that too is the loving overflow that's on offer to us allows us to accept that sometimes last call on loose ends don't really feel like the fulfillment that we had imagined we would experience. The essence of that is, though, that we're okay with it because it's energy we don't want to invest anymore because we have so much more to invest in. And there's the middle way right there with the charioteer. We are dynamically moving forward in our middle way, coming into acceptance and allowing for the divine flow that we're celebrating at this time. Oh, yeah. Look at this. Now the Empress, the mother to the charioteer, by the way. The Emperor and the Empress are the parents of the charioteer, and what a graduation of energy, wouldn't you say? So here's more confirmation to our Ace of Cups. We have this loving, nurturing, abundant, vital, vibrant, sensual being in the Empress. She is the mother of the tarot. She speaks to cycles and rhythms, and I feel like we're coming into the completion of a cycle that we're witnessing up here in these three cards, because the bliss flow is dynamically moving into an expansive, nurturing energy for what we've had on our foundation, what the Death card and the High Priestess have been showing us. You know, there was the exposure of the bare bones of whatever it is we've been keeping in our inner emotional closet. And here it is laid out for us so we can take a look at it. And again, last call on it. We're done with it because we're giving birth, Empress, to a whole new life, a whole new world that is Ace of Cups style fulfilling. Oh yeah. And then there's the Tower. I love this. Fantastic. I see the Tower as us. It is symbolic, representative of each and every one of us being cracked wide open, allowing our light to shine. We can't hide behind some wall. We can't hide in some closet. You know, we're here to be love, light, bliss, joy, like a beacon, hermit, and to celebrate that, enjoy our spiritual journey, dance on our foundation in that kind of energy. And we've been moving into that for quite a long period of life experience. Charioteer's been moving dynamically toward that for a long time, so we've had to find a middle way with things that we couldn't reconcile. But this divine overflow of love, bliss, joy, and happiness has provided that for us. And simultaneously has torn down the walls. You know, the walls we might hide behind. One of the beauties of the tower is once it's down and you walk through the debris field, you get to see what was hiding in there. And sometimes that surprises us, that we were traveling with some kind of energy experience and kind of bookmarked on it. But once the tower's down and we're cracked wide open and we are that lightning bolt of brilliant clarity, we're like, aha, yeah, I can sweep this away now. I'm done. And that makes more room for, are you kidding me now, the Nine of Cups. So we have the Ace and the 9, which equals out to the 10, which we saw, I'm not sure in what reading this week, but the 10 of Cups represented or showed up twice in a reading because of this kind of alignment. But the 9 of Cups is all about fulfillment. The Ace of Cups to the power of 9 on overflow. And this is exactly what we're talking about. It's why we've got last call on some of this 5 of Cups, 9 of Swords BS, because we're ready to let that go. And I don't say BS dismissively. I understand what goes into the spiritual journey. I've cried the ugly cry. I've been there at 3 a.m. wide awake wondering, how can I fix this? How can I repair this? How can I do better than this, right? I know what that feels like, so I'm not dismissive of it. It's just that you reach a point in your journey where you recognize you've outgrown it and you're ready to donate it somewhere else. Thank you, Death card. Thank you, High Priestess, for shining the light on that, because it's given us this beautiful consideration to allow the tower to come down to make way for what the 9 of Cups promises, which is love, joy, happiness, fulfillment, the realization of a dream coming true. Then coming with this, how beautiful, the 6 of Cups. Now I spoke on it earlier because it follows the 5 of Cups. And that's where we're taking our 2 of Cups into the soulmate energy. We are our own best soulmates, but then this is indicative of what we have to share in all of our important relationships. The people that mean the very most to us, right? We have our soulmate relationship within self to bring to all of our other relationships. And yes, that's the kind of joy and happiness that we want to celebrate on our foundation. And it's what we've given birth to. It's what has cracked us wide open and has allowed for our dreams to fulfill on overflow. So yes, great progression. And then look at this, happiest card in tarot, the Sun. Ace of Cups, sandwiching the reading with the Sun. So that really takes the sting out of any challenge on that 5, any challenge on that 9, and however it feels to blow that trumpet for the last time on some stuff that, you know, the Death card, the High Priestess, highlighted for us this week, had us move it off our foundation. Now, we've seen the 9 of Cups more than once this week. That's something to celebrate. We've seen the combination of the Ace and the 9 more than once this week. And we land on the Sun at the end of this reading. How absolutely beautiful. Whoa. Leave some comments, folks. Tell us about your journey. You know, those comments on the channel are inspiring to other people. And they're enlightening. And I enjoy reading them. So, thank you. If it's in your heart to do so, do it. Angel Answers, if you've got a question, this is a great time to ask it. Let the cards answer that for you. Recovery. Yeah. What a great card to see, especially when you've got the 5 and the 9 alongside Judgment in the reading. This is recovery. This is us coming out of an energy that no longer provides valuable service to our journey, and in appreciation, we're letting that go. Next. Ooh, forgiveness. You know that card is for you. It's not about saying that you have forgiven some really difficult 9 of Swords or 5 of Cups. Forgiveness here is much more about acceptance of the challenge that came our way, the people connected to that. We can hold appreciation for the people that represent challenge in our life because that has forced us to grow. Next. I love that this one keeps showing up for us. You're ready, and then right underneath it, I have to take it is let go. You're ready to let go. You're doing it. These cards are showing you that this is the process of letting go. All right. I thought we'd have a little bit of fun here at the tail end of the reading. I have this deck. Most of the cards really can't be shared on YouTube. But I thought we'd do a little Rebel Oracle deck messaging here. So I have to say I would love to have shuffled and just let the cards fall out. It's how I do most of the readings, but there's so many swears that we can't say on YouTube on these cards that I had to pick a couple that were more acceptable to YouTube's rules and regulations. So anyway, the Rebel deck, what can we say about that? Love. Get some, give some. It will cheer your ass up. Yes, it will. It will. And that's what's going on over here. Huh. I didn't know that was going to relate so well. That's cool. Love is the way through anything. Unconditional love and kindness to self-relationship. So get some, give some to yourself. And then that's what you've got on overflow. And then we have stop talking. Oh, shut your mouth and listen. You know, this is just a more rebellious way of receiving the Communicate Clearly card out of Angel Answers. You'll have to let me know about the Rebel deck. I'm not sure about it. Let's do our affirmation from Spirit Junkie. What do we have? I am willing to see my sameness with others. This opens my awareness to oneness. Ooh. Beautiful. That connects to the Judgment card quite nicely. All right, everybody, have a beautiful weekend. Thank you for hanging in, watching the video, tuning into the channel, like, share, subscribing. So appreciated here. Have a lovely day. Peace, joy, happiness, laughter, celebration. 9 of Cups, Ace of Cups. Go get it. Bye for now.